English conversation at work. Hey there, welcome back to Speak Up English. I'm Emma. Before we even begin, I want you to make me one promise. Just one. Stay with me until the end of this episode, especially the final part, because if you do, something is going to shift in you. You will become capable of speaking English with real confidence. You won't need to depend on grammar rules every single time you open your mouth. You won't need to keep jumping from one random YouTube video to another, hoping someday it'll just click. Today, it clicks. Today, you become a confident English learner, someone who speaks at work without freezing, without translating every sentence in their head first, without that little voice saying, "What if I say it wrong?" So take a breath, get comfortable, and let's begin. And this is Speak Up English, the place where we don't just study English, we live it. Today's topic is one that so many of you have asked me about, English conversation at work. Because let's be honest, speaking English in daily life is one thing, but speaking English in a meeting, writing a quick reply to your manager, asking a coworker for help, or making small talk in the break room, that's a completely different kind of pressure. I've heard from so many of you through comments, messages, emails, saying things like, "Emma, I understand English when I read it, but when my boss speaks to me, my mind goes blank. I know the grammar, but I freeze in meetings. I'm afraid my coworkers will judge my accent." If any of that sounds like you, I want you to know something right now. You are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, right at the beginning of a breakthrough. Today, we're going to walk through real workplace conversations, real phrases, real confidence-building techniques. And by the end, you'll have a toolkit you can use tomorrow morning at your job. Let's get into it. The mindset shift. Why work English feels so hard. Let's start here because this matters more than any vocabulary list. Most people think the problem is that they don't know enough English. But here's the truth, and I say this with so much love. The real problem is usually fear, not knowledge. You already know more English than you give yourself credit for. You've studied grammar, you know thousands of words. But the moment someone asks you a question at work, your brain goes into panic mode. And panic mode blocks access to everything you've learned. This is normal. This happens to language learners everywhere in the world. It even happens to people learning their second, third, or fourth language as adults. So here's your first mindset shift today. Speaking English at work is not a test. It's a conversation. Nobody is grading you. Your coworkers are not sitting there with a red pen marking your mistakes. They want to understand you and work with you. That's it. Once you let go of the idea of perfect English, real communication becomes so much easier. Starting the day, greetings, and small talk. Let's build this from the ground up, starting with the moment you walk into the office. Small talk is the glue of workplace relationships. It seems small, but it builds trust. Here are natural greetings you can use. Good morning. How was your weekend? Hey, did you catch the game last night? Morning. Busy day ahead? Simple responses. Pretty good, thanks. Just relaxed at home. Yeah, it's going to be a packed one. Can't complain. How about you? Notice something. These aren't complicated sentences. They're short, natural, and human. You don't need advanced vocabulary to connect with people. You need warmth and willingness. Try saying these out loud right now, even if you're alone. Your mouth needs to practice the shape of English, not just your brain. Speaking up in meetings. Now here's where most learners feel the most fear. Meetings. Let's break this fear down into manageable pieces. Joining a conversation. Can I add something here? I'd like to share my thoughts on this. Sorry to jump in, but asking for clarification. This is your secret weapon. Could you explain that a bit more? Sorry, could you repeat that? Just to clarify, are we saying that? Listen carefully. Asking for clarification is not a weakness. It is one of the most professional things you can do. It shows you're engaged, thoughtful, and detail-oriented. Native speakers ask for clarification all the time, giving your opinion politely. In my opinion, I think we should. From my perspective, this approach makes sense because I see your point, but have we considered? This last phrase is gold. It lets you disagree respectfully, a skill that will serve you in every job, in every country, for the rest of your career. Asking for help and giving help. There is so much unnecessary shame around asking for help in a second language. Let's remove that shame right now. Could you help me with this when you get a chance? I'm a bit stuck on this. Do you have a minute? Would you mind walking me through this? And when offering help to others, let me know if you need a hand with that. I'm happy to help if you're stuck. Feel free to reach out if anything comes up. Here's something beautiful about these phrases. They're not just English lessons. They're relationship builders. Every time you use them, you're not just practicing language, you're practicing connection. A lot of workplace English happens in writing, and this is actually where many learners can shine because you have time to think. Opening lines. I hope this email finds you well. Thank you for your quick response. Following up on our conversation earlier. Closing lines. Please let me know if you have any questions. Looking forward to your feedback. Thanks again for your time. Notice the pattern. Professional English isn't about complicated words. It's about clarity and respect. Keep it simple. Simple is powerful. Now I want to talk about something deeply personal for a moment. You are going to make mistakes. I want to say that clearly because so many learners live in fear of this moment, and that fear is exactly what blocks fluency. Here's the secret. Confident English speakers aren't people who never make mistakes. They're people who don't let mistakes stop them mid-sentence. If you say something wrong, here's what you do. Sorry, let me rephrase that. What I meant to say is, let me try that again. That's it. 3 seconds. Then you keep going. The conversation moves on. Nobody remembers your small mistake. They remember how you handled yourself. This is the difference between someone who sounds fluent and someone who isn't fluent yet, but acts fluent. And acting fluent again and again is literally how fluency is built. Let's bring this all together with a short role play. I'll play both sides so you can hear the rhythm of a real workplace conversation. Coworker. Hey Emma, do you have a sec? I wanted to go over the report before the meeting. You. Sure, give me 1 moment. Let me just finish this email. Coworker. No rush. Oh, and did you get a chance to look at the numbers I sent yesterday? You. Yes, I did. Honestly, I had a question about the second section. Could you walk me through it? Coworker. Of course. So basically, what we're seeing is... You. Ah, that makes sense. Thanks for clarifying. I think we should mention that in the meeting too. Did you notice? Nothing about that conversation needed advanced vocabulary. It needed natural rhythm, simple connectors, and confidence. That's exactly what we're building together. I want to pause here and speak to you, not as a teacher, but as someone who genuinely cares about your journey. Learning a language as an adult, while working, while living your life, while carrying responsibilities, that is not easy. It takes courage. It takes patience with yourself on the days you feel like you're not improving fast enough. But here's what I know to be true. Every single person who speaks English fluently today was once exactly where you are right now. They once feared meetings. They once rehearsed sentences in their head before saying them out loud. They once felt embarrassed about their accent, and they kept going anyway. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Speak a little every day. Listen a little every day. Make mistakes and let them teach you instead of silence you. You are not bad at English. You are a person in progress. And progress, even slow progress, is still progress. So here we are at the end of our episode, exactly where I promised you something special would happen. If you've truly listened, truly absorbed this, something has already shifted inside you. You now have real phrases for real workplace situations. You understand that confidence matters more than perfection. You understand that mistakes are not the end of a conversation. They're simply a small turn in the road. This is what I want for you. Not to depend on grammar books forever. Not to keep endlessly searching for the one video that will finally make English click. Because that video isn't out there waiting to save you. The change happens here, inside you, the moment you decide to speak instead of stay silent. So tomorrow, when you walk into work, I want you to use just one phrase from today's episode. Just one. Say it out loud, even if your heart is racing a little. That single moment of courage is how fluent speakers are made. Not overnight, but one sentence at a time. I'm Emma, and this has been Speak Up English. If this episode helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Subscribe so we can keep growing together, episode by episode, sentence by sentence. You are capable. You are closer than you think, and I will see you in the next episode. Until then, keep speaking up.